Radio Hereford FC, the only station with full match commentaries of the Bulls. Every game, every week.
Well, hello and welcome again to We're Going Down the Pub with me, Frank Williams, coming to you from the Edward VII in Wealdstone this evening, to save Simon Wright having to walk the extra 100 yards.
Quite right, it's a long way, and it's also the top-selling beer here, folks. It's a Wye Valley product. Put to your back.
Yes, it
so,
is.
we're going to do our bit to drink
and
more.
Anyway, up until yesterday, there was a Christmas tree stuck in our corner at the but they have moved it now from the wagon, so we'll have to.
Needles could have got all sorts of painful places.
So we do apologise because the one thing about the wagon horses is it does not have music. It doesn't have music, and there is music in the background here tonight. But never mind, it's smooth radio. I'm sure we won't charge them broadcasting rights for appearing on our station. But there we are. Yeah. Right, we are here to discuss Wealdstone. Yes.
It's game 3 of the not so magnificent 7 this month.
Yes, all the away games, exactly.
Yeah.
Gosh, have we got some to go to? Yeah.
Oh, we have.
We're very thankful to two Southern Bulls.
Yes,
for
indeed.
putting this together for us.
Thank you, Mark Nottingham, and thank you, Paul Bowyer, who've both been to the ground handily in the last 12 months.
That's good.
And we're
for
able
any
to chip
particular
in.
reason?
Well, Mark's a notorious ground hopper, and I think Paul lives nearby, so he just couldn't resist looking.
Okay. FA Trophy, last 64, eh?
And we're still in there pitching.
5 games from Wembley.
Yeah, I mean, the only Southern League side left.
Yeah.
We're getting used to that, though, aren't we? But, like Oxford, it's a chance to test ourselves against a higher level opposition on a ground where we aspire to visit next season.
Indeed. Yep. Been around a bit, haven't they, Wealdstone?
Yeah, I mean, 120 years of history behind them.
A lot of them in the amateur ranks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, they've got quite a few claims to fame. Best known for being the first club of, I'm sure everyone knows this, Stuart Pearce.
Right.
And Vinnie Jones. And Jermaine Beckford, possibly less well known.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And, and one year, I think 1980s, 1984, they won the double of FA Trophy and the Conference Championship.
Right.
Which is quite a feat. They weren't promoted, but my word, what an achievement,
And what year was that?
I think it was 84-5.
84, they won promotion automatically then, were they?
Yeah, and the first ever TV highlights, shown on TV, surprisingly enough, featured Wealdstone against Barnet. So there's a bit of trivia for you all. And closer to home, personal memory of them beating Hereford United in 1978 FA Cup. And I sulked all the way back to Redhill. I used to walk it then. That's a long time to sulk, I tell you. One side of the city.
It's not a long walk though, but a long time to sulk.
It felt like a long walk.
Have you been sulking ever since? Well, yeah, you have actually.
It's brought it back, I tell you, playing them again.
Most of the time because you spent on the terraces at the Albion. That's why you've been sulking ever since.
Okay.
We won't go into that now.
No, please don't. Okay. Wealdstone have a decent average gate, 870, which is the second highest in National League South. And, they're only mid-table, so that's a respectable average. They've lost 3 home league games before Christmas. But another way of looking at only 870. I mean, a figure like that thinks that we can have a right go at step 2 when we get there.
Yep.
I'm not saying we'll get there this season, but I'm saying when we get there. So there you go. Their supporters have no great interest in the Cups so far. Their gates for the trophy games are down 50% on their league average. The last round, on a Saturday, at home, attendance of 371.
Right, but mind you, our trophy gates were...
Well, yeah, a similar lack of enthusiasm.
Yes, but we're down to 15 or 1600.
Yeah, they were piled on top of each other as well. But, it's a fairly easy life in step 2. They've only had to beat 2 clubs to get this far,
Yeah.
We've had to sweat through there. How many now? But they just beat Chelmsford and Wingate in the trophy to get through.
Yeah, well, we had 3 qualifying rounds plus the first round.
Exactly,
That's right,
a few thoughts on the Wealdstone squad. I mean, I would say visit their website and have a look at their squad online.
Why is that then?
Well, it's the pictures are so strange. I mean, either the shirt's too small,
Okay.
or 8 of their squad really do have beer bellies and 1 some very large boobs.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be interesting to look at.
They're bursting out of these shirts.
It's not the porn side, is it?
No, they're fully dressed. Well, they look fully dressed anyway, but no, anyway, so there you go.
It must be body paint. Yeah,
It's very clever body paint, but there you go. Have a look. It's quite strange.
Right.
And they've got a right Pratt in the squad. You know, a guy called Dave Pratt, surprisingly enough, who may be known to our Gloucestershire Bulls because he joined from Chippenham last month, and he's a goal scorer. So
Okay.
we could do without that. They've got a decent sized squad. I mean, 21 players plus 5 more out on loan. Not really names that sort of stand out. They're
You mean 5 more in on loan or out on loan?
out on loan.
Out,
Yes,
right,
so
okay,
collectively
yeah.
got 26. You know,
Right, yeah.
sort of number that really impressed Slough, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Cosmopolitan bunch. They've got a Frenchman. I suppose a lot of clubs have got a Frenchman, but they've got a Turk as well, which is quite unusual.
It is, yes, at this level, certainly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
right.
Okay. So that's really all I can say on the squad without boring you to death.
Okay.
The ground. Now, Wealdstone have had dark times, and now like us, really. Club fell into liquidation back in 1991 and had to sell the ground. And after that was many, many years of nomadic wandering. Oh, sorry, I can't use wandering. People might get the wrong idea. Nomadic, whatever. Can't use the word wandering. It upsets me in this area. But anyway, in 2008, so a long, long time. It's a lot of moving ground to ground. Wealdstone directors spotted a semi-derelict ground, Ruislip Manor FC, and moved in and bought it. And since their arrival, Wealdstone fans have slogged to improve their accommodation, done a lot of self-building, several areas of covered terrace and a new seated stand. That's probably the best bit of the ground that was built last year, but there are pillars almost everywhere.
Greg will be so pleased when
Yes,
he comes to commentate on that.
yes.
He says he will be available to commentate on that. We'll make sure he's stuck behind a pillar.
Yeah, I don't think you can probably avoid it, to be honest.
you're
but-
right.
Grosvenor Vale, as it's called, it does look rather strange, not least because it's got a concrete gun turret in the corner, as you do, you know. Every ground should have one. Now this dates back to the need to defend Northolm Airfield, which is or was next door during World War II. Now the guns have gone before you ask.
That's a relief.
Which is probably a relief to the near side lino because it might have a bit of a shock.
No, that was an interesting fact. We talked about lines, but I don't know whether you wouldn't have heard this. But when we were doing our broadcast on the Redditch game, we were talking about the fact that one of the linesmen was particularly elderly and one was particularly youthful.
Yes.
And it was pointed out to me by Mark Ammons, who knows all these things. Did you know that the linesman who runs the lines nearest to the dugouts, on that side, whichever side of the ground that might be, is the senior linesman?
I didn't.
The senior assistant, and he would be the one that would take over from the referee should the referee be injured. And so there you go. You see,
That
no,
makes
I never-
sense, yeah, because they get more stick, basically.
And if there is a quartered flag going, he's the one who has it.
I see.
Yeah, it's a red and yellow quarters he was using, and the other one had a straight yellow one. But there you are. I didn't know all these things existed in, all these little rules and regulations governing linos. Yeah. Yes, or any other type of floor covering that you might want to particularly choose. But anyway, that's
Okay. Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah, we've got to keep putting in all these. It's education. We'd like to
titivate our
educate.
audience.
Educate and titivate at the same. Well,
Yeah.
we'll titivate, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, segregation will be enforced, so we are on the opposite side to the ancient main stand.
Segregation and no beer.
And no this, no that, unfortunately.
Yes.
We get all of 75 seats and covered terracing next to it, but loads of pillars.
And it's pay on the gates.
And it's paying it's £13 adults, welcome to step 2.
Yeah.
£8 for seniors, and kids are either £3 or free, depending on age. There you
Right.
go. Now we can only watch from afar, I would imagine, at the splendid Lynn's Gourmet Burgers, which would be on the opposite side of the ground. You know, the club's famous for their gourmet burgers, very nicely priced, plus thick cut chips and very cheap hot drinks. But we're getting on to that. We'll get some. We'll get another mobile van, no doubt.
Yeah.
But we get a mobile van, bag searches, no alcohol and no drum. But we are encouraged to go in early.
Why? Why would you want to go
exactly.
early? Yes, you go in early, go into the clubhouse, have a
Yep.
pint,
Yes.
mingle with all their fans. It'll
Yep.
be really great, fantastic, as we've done all season.
Yep, no problem.
At other grounds or things.
Yeah.
But no, get there early and just get cold and wet.
Yeah,
probably.
Welcome to the big time, eh? Now, unusually, this should be a positive. Unusually for a London club, parking is straightforward.
What, you mean it's expensive?
Well, there's hundreds of spaces at the ground, and
All right.
it's free.
Oh, good.
Weather is unkind, and they only use the area with hard standing. But we're not getting any of those, Frank,
Right.
unless you're a blue badge holder. We'll have to use street parking. Yeah.
Right,
So
okay.
thankfully, there's a lot of it at his close, so that's not too bad. Okay.
Yeah.
There's an enormous social club, the Ruislip Social Club, got 3 rooms.
Yeah.
Now visitors are normally admitted.
Yeah, sensible solution there. Different rooms. Yeah,
Segregated by
fine.
room, you know,
no
that
problem.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds sensible to you and
that
I.
would be, but not to them.
No. Now you think back to Oxford City, they gave us their whole bar, albeit with suspiciously high prices, but we got the whole bar. But there's no room at the Stones Inn for us, so there you go. It's literally going to be their loss, isn't
Well,
it?
it certainly will be,
Okay.
yes.
So we are going to shout loudly about the alternatives that people
Indeed.
can
So
have.
there must be a Spoons.
There is, and you're walking distance.
Oh, excellent stuff.
Originally, it's a Weatherspoons called JJ Moons.
Right.
You know, we get to the Weatherspoons, and that's probably going to take up 85% of our support, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Okay. What I'd also suggest is the Hop and Vibe in the High Street, micro pub, 6 to 7 rotating real ales, cider, and varying snacks, including a charcuterie board,
Right.
which is in London, isn't it? So I suppose you've got to have something a bit different, a bit trendy. If you like harvesters, there's one handy in Berry Street called the George. And then if you like a traditional breakfast, then Paul's Manor Cafe at Victoria Road's probably the place to go for that. Been there 80 years. It's a lot of bangers and mash in it. So
is
there you
really,
go.
yeah.
Now there's a tradition this year, Frank, of me recommending a place, only to find I'm the only visiting supporter there.
Yeah.
But you know, I'll emphasise I'm not making this game, so you're able to go.
making this game.
Please go
Right,
in,
okay,
you know,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
I won't be there. So
All right.
I'll be watching Albin v Albin. But there you go.
Ooh.
I know. Getting there, well, it's the dilemma really. Do you want less miles or do you want to go faster? If you go by the A40,
Yeah.
117 miles,
Yeah.
or if you want to go by the M40, then it's 145 miles, so
Right.
take your pick really. It's basically the same distance and the same dilemma as Chesham or Slough, that sort of area really. It is very, very West London.
Yeah. At least it's our side of London.
It is, thankfully, yes. Yeah, I mean, you can do it by train, but it's a bit of a mess.
Right.
You can either do Hereford to Paddington with 1 or 2 changes,
Yeah.
then 40 minutes on the Underground, or train to New Street, walk to Snow Hill, take the Chiltern line to Marylebone, then 45 minutes on the Underground.
Right.
Oh dear, I
No,
wouldn't
of
bother.
course.
But, if you're in the south,
Yeah,
you're
it's
laughing,
easy,
aren't
isn't
you?
it, really, yeah.
I mean, ridiculously spoilt. Ruislip's got 3 Underground stations and 2 rail stations.
Right.
The nearest Ruislip on the Metropolitan line's 5 minutes walk. So come on, Southern Exiles, you know, come along. You've got no excuse.
You know what I would do? I'd visit Reg.
I would if I
I
was in the
would.
Southern Exile.
Hereford Away Days
Yeah.
Facebook page.
Yeah.
If you're not a Southern Exile, you're going to find it hard to get there. Then Reg
Yeah.
is the man, and it's
Take it
you needn't
easy.
worry about getting your match tickets because all pay on the gate.
It is. It is.
But be prepared to have to stand.
Yeah.
Because the seated areas are definitely first come, first
Yeah,
served.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, and they were going to open the ground early.
Yeah, make sure we get in early.
And,
We have to get
they're
wet.
not going to serve us with anything when we get there.
No.
So that should be particularly
Thank you,
interesting.
Wealdstone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is what we're up
we
against.
aspire to, yeah.
Exactly. But anyway,
There you
that's that. That's another cup wonder. We've done a lot of cup games this
Is that
season
our
because we've done
12th or
all the
13th
home
of
ones
them?
as
Yeah,
well. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely
Losing track.
amazing, isn't it? Really. But it may even continue further. We don't know yet.
Lord, right.
We'll find out after the Wealdstone game, won't we?
We certainly will.
But that'll be interesting. I presume there would be a replay. Yes, I think
don't know.
I don't think you have the option.
Well, it's not entirely clear because in round 1, Chester put Fylde out on penalties in the first match.
Oh, right.
So flexibility might well exist.
Okay. Well,
So watch this space.
Exactly. Okay. Well, thanks for listening to that one, and we'll be back with you very, very shortly.
soon.
Yes. Bye now.
This is Radio Hereford FC, the home of the Bulls. Match day live.